once again, it's time for a little recap video. This time, from Washington State. I crossed the border into Washington and headed into Spokane. I needed to go to the Apple store to have my phone worked on a little bit, and it was fairly close to Coeur d'Alene where I was just the day before. After Spokane, I headed west, and unfortunately, the smoke started to get very, very thick. I even drove right next to some fires right along the road. I arrived in Electric City one night and found some public land to park on. And as you can see, it was very, very smoky out there, and also was very strong smelling in the air, so it wasn't extremely pleasant to be there. After that, I headed past the Coulee Dam, which was pretty neat to see. It's a very, very big dam. After that, started making my way to North Cascades National Park, and due to the smoke, I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get there on the route that I was on. And as you can see, North Cascades did not have much smoke when I got there, which I was very excited about. I did 2 hikes there. One hike was the Sourdough Mountain Trail, which was about 5 miles in and about 5,400 feet elevation change. So as you can guess, that was a very challenging hike, but goes on my list of favorite hikes for sure. The next day I did the Cascade Pass Trail and hiked up to a glacier. This was definitely my favorite hike so far on my trip. Holy cow. Another day, another brutal hike. Today I decided to hike up to the Cascade Mountain Pass. So I hiked up there and then was looking at the maps a little closer, and it looked like another 2.2 miles farther you could hike up to, let me make sure I get it right, Sahale Glacier. So that is what I'm standing on right now. Check it out. So the trail technically ended back kind of where those people are, actually farther to the right of that. But I kind of saw a trail going up this glacier, so I thought, I gotta go farther. I'd love to make it to that peak right there, but the more I hike mountains, the more I understand how long it takes to get places that you want to go. And I'm already pushing it to get back to camp at a decent hour, so I'm hopefully just gonna make it to where this glacier kind of crests over, hang out there for a few minutes, and start the hike back. If you're ever out here, this is honestly the coolest hike I've ever done, so check it out. I was literally just about to turn around, and then some guys came around the corner, and I was like, oh, how much longer does it take to get to the peak? And one of them says, oh, half an hour, and the other one says, oh, about an hour. They said it about the same time. I was like, so what is it? But there's like where it dips there, they said if you make it there, you'll stand there with your mouth open because the views are so good. So I'm going a little farther, and I might just pack myself into a snowball and roll down at the end. We'll see. Oh, I'm done. I can't do anymore. I'm at 8,400 feet. The view is insane. You ready for this?
So as you can see, that hike was super cool. But unfortunately, the next day the smoke rolled in and it was super thick. So I decided to leave North Cascades, unfortunately. I headed up to Baker Lake and did some exploring around there. Went to Baker Hot Springs and did some dirt biking. Unfortunately, the smoke was still very, very thick there and only stayed there about 2 days. Continuing west, the smoke did not improve, unfortunately. And at this point, I honestly was thinking about just leaving Washington and heading to a different state. But I decided to wait it out because it looked like there was some rain in the forecast. During that time, I took the motorcycle up to Blaine and saw the International Peace Arch, which was pretty neat. Hung out in Bellingham for a few days, spent a day in Anacortes. I was planning on going to the San Juan Islands, but with the smoke, decided to leave that for another trip. I stopped a few more places on Whidbey Island. I stopped at Deception Pass, Fort Casey State Park, and then when the smoke cleared, decided to take the ferry across to Port Townsend. I made it on the boat. Let's see how this goes. After I got to Port Townsend, it was looking like there was going to be almost a solid week of very, very rainy days. So I ended up driving all the way to Forks to meet up with my buddy Rowan, the biker guy, because he found a good place for us to stay and wait out the rain. It was quite nice. Rialto Beach was only about 10 minutes from where we were staying. Finally made it to the real ocean. So this is a part of Olympic National Park here. It's called Rialto Beach. And these waves are just crazy out here. They are just crashing up on the beach. And there's this nasty foam stuff everywhere. You might be able to see it jiggling behind me. But it is like, it looks like it's alive or something. But every time these waves come up, they're super frothy. They just keep pushing this foam farther and farther up. Ooh. Oh man. After the weather finally cleared up, I headed up towards Clallam Bay and wanted to go to Nia Bay and Cape Flattery, but the whole Indian reservation is closed in 2020 due to the C word. We'll leave it at that. But I was able to find some pretty cool beach parking on Highway 112 there and hung out there a few days. I also bumped into some fellow van lifers and parked on the beach with them one night. I took the motorcycle down to Lake Ozette one day, which was a super fun ride if you are into motorcycle riding. Took a hike out to the coast, which was very beautiful, and then started making my way back to Port Angeles. After a day in Port Angeles, I headed up to Hurricane Ridge. Wow, what a view. Today here in Olympic National Park, and pretty dang sweet. The trail ended way down there, and sometimes I get a little too ambitious and I try to peak this mountain here, but it was worth it. It's pretty sick. And funny thing is, I have some neighbors up here, and we've been having some conversations. So here, let me introduce you. They're right over there. Hey fellas! Give a good shout! All right! What are you guys doing over there? Making an egg! Nice, all right, cool! The delay is definitely significant between us, but anyway, shout out guys on YouTube. Don't know your names, I don't know who you are, but nice job climbing that mountain. After Port Angeles, I did a lot more hiking in Olympic National Park, and to keep it short, I'll just name them off. So after Hurricane Ridge, I hiked out to Olympic Hot Springs. The next day, did Mount Storm King, Marimere Falls, went to the Solduck Falls, and did the High Divide Loop. Then headed back through Forks all the way to the Hoh Rainforest. I spent one day hiking around the Hoh Rainforest, and the fall colors were absolutely beautiful there. After the rainforest, I started looking at the weather, and there was a lot of rain and cloudy days coming up. So between having another week of rain and forest fires and a few other reasons, I decided to leave the state. So I didn't end up stopping anywhere else after stopping at Ruby Beach off of 101. In the end though, I'm glad I waited out the smoke and spent some time in the Olympic National Park, and definitely plan to get back there someday, and also North Cascades. I'll leave links for all the videos that I made in Washington in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next state.